My name is Colin Duffy. I'm from Broomfield, Colorado in the USA, and I'm a boulder and lead climber. Last night I won my first Bouldering World Cup. Right now I'm feeling pretty shocked, pretty elated, and I'm just kind of taking it all in and enjoying the moment. I don't know if the win was a long time coming since I haven't been doing this for too long, but I've definitely had some moments within the last year that I felt like I was close to getting a victory, but then fell just short. So I've had some great moments here in Innsbruck in the past, so to finally put it all together was an amazing feeling. It's been great this year having crowds back and the venue being more lively. It was interesting last year having smaller crowds that usually just featured some of the athletes and volunteers, but it's amazing to have the fans be able to come and watch and support us.
Come on, Colin!
I wouldn't say I view myself as a different climber. I've always been very dynamic and creative. I use my height to my advantage, but also I'm able to, climb tall and do moves that are maybe right at the limit of my reach. But I think I still see myself as the same climber, and I'm using the skill sets that I've gained over the years to succeed now. It's been great to see the rise of the US team in the last few years. I think having the training center in Salt Lake City and I think people training together more often has really helped strengthen the team, and it's amazing to see us succeeding in all three disciplines. I feel quite close to my teammates. I don't live near most of them, so it's kind of hard to have that super personal connection, but at these events I feel we're always a very supportive group, and I always enjoy hanging out with the rest of my teammates. So this last month, I recently graduated high school, and so next year going to university, and it'll be interesting to find the new balance between school and climbing. During high school, it's been a little rough, but I usually train in the evenings with my local climbing team, and it's difficult, but find the time to prioritize for both school and climbing. I'm also interested in climbing outdoors, and after the competition season's over, I look forward to getting outside at local crags and also maybe some places across the US. When I climb outdoors, I really enjoy overhangs, probably more powerful crimp or pinchy blocks. I'm not really the biggest fan of crimp lines, but really just anything that inspires me and has cool movement. I love to climb on that. So back in the competition in Meiringen, there's a finals boulder that had a tricky starting position, and the first time that I did it, I wasn't completely stable, but it was kind of hard to tell. So I ended up topping the boulder, and then they went back and realized that my start wasn't correct, and then that happened again, and then eventually I sent it on the third time. I started very stable, and then I think in that moment I was just, I was frustrated. I really just wanted to get the top. I wasn't so worried about the results or anything. It just, that climb meant a lot to me, and it was a pretty crazy moment to be in my first ever bouldering final. For me, I think my switch really turns on when as soon as I run out to the pads. But I think the whole time, as soon as I enter the isolation area, I'm in the zone, ready to compete and just give it my all. I think the experience doesn't necessarily make the competitions easier, but I feel more comfortable and confident in them, especially in the bouldering side of things. The men's field is very deep and tough to compete in, so even this year I had some bad performances in the qualification, so I wouldn't say it's easier. I think getting to do it more often has helped me find my flow. I think all of the athletes from Team Japan are very inspiring, and that's kind of where I want to be at someday. This season, Yoshiyuki Ogata, who won the overall, made every single final and made all but one of the podiums, and that level of consistency and poise in the performances is what I one day would strive to do. Well, I think consistency is so impressive. Again, with the men's field being so tough, making the final consistently is quite difficult. Sometimes the boulders are either just good or bad for your style of climbing, but I think believing in yourself and just more experience on a variety of boulders can help you place more consistently. The Olympics was like nothing I've ever experienced before. Being in the Olympic Village with all of the different athletes from different sports was a pretty jaw-dropping experience, and my whole time in Tokyo is something that I'll never forget, with all the inspiring athletes around me. Qualifying for Paris is the future goal, and I would love to get to compete in the Olympics again. I'm glad that speed is separated from the other disciplines. It was very hard to train all three, and I think lead and boulder are kind of the two most similar disciplines, and that kind of the more traditional climbing. So it's nice to have the new format. I view myself as more of a lead climber. That's what I've had the most success in youth, and kind of my first competitions on the adult circuit. But I mean, I've been bouldering my whole life, and it's cool to see success in both disciplines, and that's another one of my goals, is to be just the most well-rounded athlete in both disciplines.